Welcome back to the Iron Sights podcast. I feel blessed. I'm here with two super dudes. I'm here with Jesse Awayo.
Yep.
Better known as Figment Shoots.
Figment Shoots. That's how you can find me on Instagram.
That's the dude. And I'm also here with my good friend, Tony Molina. Welcome to the show. I could not be happier to be here right now.
Man,
really
thanks for having us. Yeah.
This is awesome, man.
I mean, this venue, for those of you that are just listening, you're kind of missing out. But I encourage you to bump over to the YouTube channel and check out the venue that we're at right now. We're actually at the Burro Canyon Shooting Park.
Correct.
Right, which is a public range. And there's some clubs up here also, I think, that train up here. But the point of that is this is where California Range Weekend was hosted at the end of November 2021. And that was my first exposure here. And it was an amazing time, and we'll break into a little bit of that. But right now we're sitting on top of the range. We have this beautiful outdoor venue. We're surrounded by the San Gabriel mountains here.
Yep.
It's gorgeous weather. I think we've been out here all day long.
77 at its hottest.
Oh man,
with nice breeze.
It was a great day. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful day.
We had tons of great people. Basically, I mean, I feel like I made lifelong friends in the last 8 hours. This is an amazing venue, amazing people, and we had an amazing time. And we'll talk a little bit about that today and what we did today, but there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out to share with everybody that you two guys plus the crew that was up here today contributed to. I'm anxious to get it out so people can see.
It's going to be awesome, man.
I mean,
excited.
Yeah, this community is fantastic, and it really was the reason we came together today was to get together in preparation for California Range Weekend that comes up this November 5th and 6th.
Correct.
In here right back at this location.
Yep.
And so again, for those of you that aren't watching, what you're missing right now is again this outdoor venue where I got the John Deere tractor parked behind me right now.
Yeah, man.
I got the little Rhino back there in the background for cruising around for cruising around the range.
Basically sitting on the range.
Yeah.
We got all the ranges we're doing.
Yeah.
Everything we're going to be shooting at this weekend. We're sitting right behind it.
It's amazing up here. Look, I came to California Range Weekend last year. I kind of joined the crew late. There was a group of guys kind of put together by Manzano Tactical
Yep.
Kyle Manzano up in San Jose, California.
Good friend.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been doing great things for the community up north, and
He's holding it down up north, man.
yeah,
He really is.
He is doing a great job, and he got a ton of us together. And actually, some SoCal people came in that he trained with before. Some people came over actually from Arizona that came in from before, and we all came in. I wasn't sure what I was going to get. I'm going to be honest. I've been to some training weekends or whatever, but this training weekend blew me away. And we talked about it a little bit when we had the triple feed guys on a little bit ago. This was back a few months, but that's how we got connected.
Yeah.
And so jumping right in, I guess, to you guys, I'm going to start with you, Tony, and maybe you can just give me, I know a little bit about you because we've hung out now, but there's a background here that I'm not fully, apprised of. So maybe you can kind of talk me through how you got to where you're at right now, which is this, you're kind of this like centerpiece for Burro Canyon. Everybody knows Tony.
Yeah.
Right? You don't own the place.
No,
you don't run the place.
Don't run the place.
But you walk around here like you're the fucking mayor. So I want to know what's up.
Honestly, kind of start back to where you guys may be hearing some of that tinging still. So that's some of the guys still getting some training in because we don't stop up here.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love
it.
it.
Hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys do hear it, you get a little treat. No, it really what it is honestly it was back in 2012. So for those that don't know, I'm 31. So younger guy in the game. In 2012, I turned 21, and I was like, I'm getting a handgun. Bought my first shotgun at 19. That's when you were bothered by long guns before 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bought my shotgun at 19. 21 hit day of my 21st birthday. There was a gun show going on. Went out, bought my handgun. Picked it up the day after the weekend after I picked it up. I took it out. I took the gun out. Got training course. Got training immediately.
Do you remember who it was from?
The company's called Civilian Arms Training.
Okay.
They're still out doing some training stuff. Tim George is the guy who runs it. This was the range he was training at, and this is where I was. And what was really funny is my very first time coming out was basically, I wouldn't say it was an advanced class, but it wasn't a beginner class by any means. I came out to a night shoot.
All right, so you jumped right into it.
Well,
Damn.
I was one of those guys who kind of fell through the cracks when signing up.
This happens all the time.
I saw he had a class. I'm like, well, I want to take this class, and I thought, well, nighttime, a lot of stuff goes down, so when bad people are out. So I was like, well, yeah, nighttime works. It makes sense. Came out, took the class. We were maybe an hour into the class, and he's like, have you ever taken any formal shooting classes? I'm like, no. It's like,
how did you get here?
Like, I signed up and no one told me I couldn't be here. He's like, all right. So he stayed on me a little bit and stayed on top. And, I would say I held my own in the sense of, I didn't shoot anyone.
Didn't do anything stupid.
Yeah,
Anything stupid.
unsafe.
Was very, very, very conscious of my safety. I knew I was new.
This is interesting though. Like the standard there can be very, very low, right? But it can also be like, this happens whenever you're training groups of people.
Yeah.
It's tough sometimes to vet all the people that are coming in, right?
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times.
It takes a lot of work to vet people.
I think it's gotten a lot better from what I've seen, like year over year. But again, this is not an uncommon thing. And for a new shooter that's coming in, lots of stuff can be very overwhelming. I mean, I've talked to people before that are like, I had a really miserable first experience, and as a result, I'm not really down, with going back, or they thought that was what the experience was going to be every time, right? And so they didn't. So anyway, you held your own.
Yeah, I held my own, did my thing. Enjoyed the school, enjoyed the teaching, enjoyed the instruction aspect of it. So I just kept coming back, and I just kept taking classes and finding someone else. But I came back to the same school quite often, and they were always up here once a month. They're up here, so I was up here once a month, and then I got to the point where I became a regular for the school, and then I started taking, because they had classes Saturdays and Sundays. So then I started spending the night up here with them because they spent the night up here.
What a great place to! I mean, it's like
pretty cool.
You're away. Yeah. You're 30 minutes from San Gabriel Valley, which is like teeming with people and traffic, and
it's just dead quiet, and you're literally in nature.
It's gorgeous up here.
So so I started spending the night, and because I started doing that, they end up asking me to help instruct certain pieces because I knew the curriculum, I knew the stuff. I was strong enough to understand what
proficient
to do.
enough.
Yeah. So I started helping teaching a little bit, and volunteering stuff. It was mainly I took it more for me because I enjoyed teaching. I enjoyed the instruction portion. Because I know the way I look at it is if I can teach it, that's how I can validate that I know it. Right. So got to that point, and as I up here all the time, we the range guys would be up here, and we got to know them and got to be really comfortable and friendly with them, and had a lot of fun nights up here. And it got to after multiple years, I ended up parting ways with the school, mainly because I wanted to really branch out and do something for myself and really trying to build something for me. So end up pulling away probably 2018, maybe 19. And then as I'm getting ready to gear up and launch my stuff, COVID hit and all this stuff. But at the same time, I'm talking to the guys here. I'm like, well, hey, this is what I'm doing. I still want to keep coming up here as much as I am. They're like, hey, we know you. We know what you're about. We know what you're trying to do. We're okay with that. But I'm still a paid customer, so I'm still coming up here, having to pay my way, and trying to come up here once a week, take a private bay. It gets a little
anybody knows there's cost involved there.
It
Yeah.
gets a little
I mean, not to mention at that time you're talking like the height of the ammo crisis,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. So I got to a point where I said, well, how can I find a way to offset my cost? How can I find a way to get my training to be able to do stuff, to do these things and get them their money, but be able to get myself in. So I was like, well, heck, I got range time. I don't need 2 days, basically, 48 hours of training time for myself up here. Well, let's try and rent out some of my time. So I had my dates on the books already for the entire year, and I'd reach out to other companies. I reached out to Rick. I reached out to Donovan. I had Barrett out here. I've had a lot of different guys from around the country. I said, hey, I have a place for you to train. All I request is you pay the fees to do all this stuff. You bring your classes out here, and I'll supply everything. I'll take care of your target stands. I'll take care of your targets. I'll get everything set up, broken down. All you have to do is show up, teach, go home. You don't have to worry about anything.
So smart.
Yeah.
And-
Because for these guys, that's a lot of work,
It's
right?
huge.
That's like the
Oh,
back end work of running one of these events, which
It is.
I think a lot of participants of these events don't really recognize that, like the amount of time, effort, and energy.
Yeah, I'm usually up here 1 to 2 hours earlier before the class starts. Usually 2 hours because people get up here between an hour and hour to a half hour before class starts. So I'm usually up here 2 hours before the class starts, and I'm usually here 2 hours after, and I'm here the entire time. Set up, breakdown, whatever they need, all this stuff. So
But there's also this communication stuff that's going on back and forth about, hey man, what do you need? How many you got? Where do I need to be at this time? Like, what can I get for you? It's almost like a concierge service to some extent, right? And by the way, I think that's fucking smart.
And except for me, it was I got two things out of it. One, I got to meet a lot of really cool people. I've made a lot of really good friends in the industry, and not just locally. I got across the nation. Two, I got to pay for my own. I got to basically pay for my range time because they'd come out, they teach,
Right.
and I got to be part of their classes. So I got training from a lot of good people.
You got the knowledge transfer in there.
So I got that, so not only am I trying to start my, my own thing, but I'm now gaining information from other guys who've been doing it, rocking and rolling for a while, and learning what I can, trying to figure out, okay, what can work for me, what doesn't work for me, what do I like, what can I pass on? And it just turned into this snowball effect where I network and build my own school. And then, one day I met Rick Crawley from Achilles Tactics, and he started doing his Ohio Range Day stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this is awesome. He's all about communities, trying to get things together. I'm like, man, we need something like that out here. And we had a couple things out here. Behind Enemy Lines was one of them. I know there's a few.
Remember that.
Yeah, there's a few different ones that they tried stuff, and I don't know the stories behind it, and I don't really care to try to learn them because it's, whatever happened with them is whatever happened with them. And I love the fact that people were trying to make these community events, but at the time, last year, basically year and a half, there was nothing like that up here anymore. Nothing, it was all gone. And I said, well, I got to figure out how to do this. I got to figure out how to make this happen here in California. I know I have the relationship built where I can have night classes. I can have all this stuff. How can I make this happen for what we're doing? So talked to the range guys, said, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. They're like, do you think you can pull this off? Like, yeah, I have enough support. Honestly, I've met enough people in the industry. I have enough support to make this happen. So I decided, I was like, all right, we're going to make this happen. And I reached out, I ended up meeting Jesse and a couple of the other guys who they were a little camera shy, didn't want to be on, but Jared and Nick, I reached like, hey, I need your help. I can't do this by myself because once again, I'm about the community, right? I'm always trying to figure out how can I help others, but also in return, they will find a way to help me.
It's a lost art, man.
And so, and I've been very fortunate with the people that I've met to be able to help build the community that I did up here. And it's just grown. And last year did great. And this year I'm hoping to do even better.
I want to come back to this, but to give the listeners maybe a little bit of a kind of an idea. We had a concentration of wealth with regard to knowledge, energy, experience, wisdom. Mark from First Defense. We had Renee from Linus Tactics, and we had Jerry from Triple Feed. And there's going to be a ton of other instructors. It's just
we have a total of 10 instructors for this year.
So that's what I got today. Like, so we have all these instructors out here, and these are the people that are really, they're at the top of their game, but they don't walk around here like they are at the top of their game.
Everyone's super humble.
Yeah.
Everybody was learning from one another today. Everybody got to go through like a 15 to maybe 20-minute segment of instruction on what the instructors are going to be coaching at this year's event.
Right.
And for every instructor, all the eyeballs were big, all the ears were wide open.
Yep.
We were trying new things. They were asking questions. We were getting on the side instruction. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And that just speaks again to the community at large. But the fact that there's this hub, and it turns out it's Tony right now and you, Jesse, bringing those people together to then provide for the greater community.
Yeah.
So I want to circle back a little bit because a lot of what I heard you just say there reminds me a lot, and I make this reference a lot on this podcast, which is regard to the fitness industry and how people get started in the fitness industry. It generally starts as a passion.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody's they have and I know you, Jesse, you've got a background, a pretty heavy background in fitness, and work with some people. I want to hear about that a little bit. But what you get is people that have had their lives impacted by this thing, right? And again, we're sort of keeping in the fitness of the firearms realm. They feel a connection to it, and then more than that, they find community in it.
Absolutely.
Which is the most important thing that keeps you in it at the end of the day. And then what you want to do is you want to give back to that community. And what you recognize really early on is like, we should not be dividing, and not everybody should have their, and you sort of alluded to it. I don't want to say, you sort of alluded to it, where people are kind of like, they have their own agenda, and that's fine if you want to have your own agenda. But if it isn't to support and create something that ultimately benefits the greater community, then in the end of the day, I'm not sure how much value can be extracted over time. I don't think there's a lot of longevity in it.
It's going to be short. It's going to be short-lived.
It really ends up being about relationships and bringing people together, and that effectively is what you've been doing for the last couple of years. The other note I want to make on this, and I think it could also be paralleled with the fitness industry, is that at one of the toughest times kind of in history with regard to all the craziness that's been happening and shutdowns and people trying to figure out what they're going to do with their business, as you mentioned, sort of COVID and everything else, you found opportunity. Where other people were scrambling and like going different directions and maybe hiding in a hole or trying to hunker down and make it even tighter, right? What you were doing was trying to expand it and grow. And I found like there's some people out there that have done a really great job with that. And I think the people that you have coming to this event, and also the participants that are going to be coming to this event, are those types of people that are like, look, they're looking for that opportunity in the sort of the best of times, but also the worst of times. And you've been able to do that. It's phenomenal. And again, I'm enamored by it, because every time I show up to kind of one of these things, or I get connected with somebody in the California or the West Coast shooting community, there are some it's like 2 degrees of separation. Like everybody knows one another. But what's weird, I'm wondering if both of you guys can comment on this. It's not really weird. I think I understand it, but it's just not talked about a lot. I mean, we get a lot of bad press here.
We do.
Absolutely.
So I want to jump into that for a minute. Like, people really come down on California for all the crazy laws and things that we have here. And it's a love-hate relationship.
And you can talk to anyone from California and we will all agree with you that they're stupid laws.
So can you guys expand on that a little bit? How do we deal with that? I mean, what's the right way in your mind, and from a mindset perspective, to deal with the craziness? From what I mean by that is, I mean the ridiculousness of some of the shit we have to deal with, and how we move forward rather than sitting around bitching about it, or basically like giving up or throwing up our hands.
Well, the first thing that I feel about is the whole concept of moving out because of the gun laws are dumb. It's not going to help. Just moving away because, gun laws are stupid here, so I'm going to leave. So you're just going to let this basically cancer take over this area. And once it's finished with this area, you think cancer just stops?
It's ironic.
It's going to keep moving.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we kind of are at the forefront. We have to just take the brunt hit, and we do what we can to fight back. And companies like, FPC, they put on an event.
Just last night?
Yeah, last night they had an event on trying to fight these kind of things, and you do what you can to try and fight it, and you're not going to always win. It's proven, but
you got to stay in the fight.
You can't just give up. It's just, you go to the fitness thing we just talked about earlier. Just because it sucks, just because I don't feel like I can do it, doesn't feel like I want to quit, doesn't mean I'm going to. I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to push through. And at the end, I'm gonna succeed. You do what you can to make it work. And
I'll chime in because when I look at this community, from a photographer point of view, videographer point of view, like I want to be able to share, because you don't really understand the community until you experience the community.
1000% agree with that.
I have a lot of friends, and they just see us as gun nuts. Right.
Yeah, we're fanatics. We're outlaws.
Exactly.
That's fine.
And it wasn't right.
I'm totally okay with that, but
cool.
It's weird.
When I got into this community, like the community aspect of it, like how everyone supports each other so much.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing to me. So even now, as I move forward with video and photo and stuff like that, that's what I want to be able to share. When CRW comes back, because I didn't feel like I did that great of a job, because I didn't know what I was kind of getting myself into at the time.
It's brand new.
It was
the
brand
first,
new.
yeah.
But coming back 2022 now, I'm like, I want to be able to share those images, those videos, to show people the community, the experience of being there and what we have to offer. Because I feel like once we start to kind of sway people in that direction, then there may be more change.
Yeah,
down the road.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's like an exposure to it, right? Like
Exactly.
And like, unfortunately, the exposure that most of the public gets to, it's not the community. They don't get exposure to the community.
Nope.
They get exposure to evilness that exists
Violence.
outside
Yep.
the community. It's not,
Absolutely.
that is not what this is.
No.
And nobody's more pissed off. Nobody's more upset. Nobody's grieving. Well, that might be an overstatement, but the people within this community grieve as hard as anybody on the outside looking in that thinks it's evil, because we're looking at it the same way. And
Exactly.
and you said it, when you can't really understand it till you experience it, and you'll really understand it when you're experiencing it kind of in the heat of the moment, and you may be challenged, or you may be like not challenged, you may be really excelling, and the dude next to you who you don't even know, or the lady on the other side of you that you don't even know, reaches over and pats you on the back and go, that was a great fucking job, which is exactly what I got last night from Tony in the workout. So it's like this, it's like, hey, that was really hard, this really sucks, I'm really being challenged, or I really did a good job. And it's not me that has to pick myself up, or I don't have to get that validation somewhere on social media or whatever else. I can get it from the person standing right next to me.
So I've gotten to work with a lot of different instructors, right? From Tony, Fabio from My Own Defender, Mark. I've gotten to work with all these guys. And the one thing I always notice at the beginning of classes is everyone's kind of put off.
It's
right?
always like that. Everybody's trying to feel one another out a little bit. Yeah.
But once everyone starts fucking failing on the line, and at the end of the day, everyone's friends. Everyone's like, dude, we all fucking suck. But it's great because we all suck together.
We all suck together.
we're all growing.
We all
together.
suck together. We all suffer together. We're all growing together. And at the end of the day, we're all contributing
and so
together.
at the end of the class, I can't, the level of like community that happens in that little moment every single time, and it always kind of puts me back like, wow. To be able to witness that happen in a 6-hour course or 8-hour course, however long it is, it's amazing.
Lifelong friendships and like a membership to the community is established right there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you $1, right?
Yep.
There's no expectation. Like you don't have to. There's no expectation. If you just want to show up and do and be part of it and kind of be quiet and do your thing, great, do that. But I think what you'll find is you'll be encouraged to contribute in your own kind of way and whatever that way. And even if that's just being a really great shooter who is people are aspiring to be like, you're going to feel like you belong in some kind of way. That might sound a little cheesy, a little corny. I don't know, but I feel that when I walk into the gym, the jiu-jitsu mat, like it's
so many different avenues of that same exact thing. I mean, you can take today, for example, out on the range, everyone showed up, everyone was hi, how you doing? Everyone just, hi, how you doing? Just super professional, super cordial. Everyone's super nice. And the guys who knew each other, obviously they were friendly and were really cool and giving hugs, but everyone was pretty kind of set back, being more professional side. Dude, by the time we started having fun at the end, everyone's laughing, everyone's talking shit, high-fiving, we're making challenges between each other, we're making fun of each other because it's all in good fun, obviously, but we're having a good time, and we had everyone on the range together from, I think everyone got here about 11:30 when everyone like officially here, and we finished up around 3 maybe 3 to 4.
It was so fast though.
It was lightning fast. But even think about that, was what, 4 or 5 hours at most, and all of a sudden you had there, and there are people who were there. Like we're already planning trips with some of these guys. Like, hey, we got stuff coming up here.
We're booked for July already.
We're booked for July. But it's like it happens so fast. It happens so fast, and it's because that camaraderie comes, and that was the whole point of today, anyways. It was to build that camaraderie, because to be able to everyone to come together and say, hey, dude, good to see you again, man. Hey, how's everything been? How's the pup doing? How's the
family
kid doing?
We had kids out here today. It was fantastic.
Dude, it was awesome. We just had it. I mean, we had a blast. Literally.
Yeah, there's just this kind of, I think if you're from the outside looking in, you haven't experienced it, this can sound like, dude, you guys are just out shooting guns. Like, this is weird. Like, what is this? You can think that all you want.
We were though. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong by thinking
there's
that.
so much deeper than that.
It is. You're
looking at the iceberg of the surface of that iceberg.
I think, and basically what it comes down to at the end of the day, and this is what I think, like successful relationships, businesses, ventures always wind up to. There has to be alignment of two things right out of the gate, and one of those has to be goals, and the other one has to be values.
Yep.
And with that, like the goals and values alignment piece here can be vast. And even if you're going to learn things and discover and notice things that you didn't even know existed prior to coming here. So sitting back on the sidelines, right? And I don't know, judging a book by its cover or just following the stuff on Instagram. That's all great. Hey, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I really feel like you're missing out.
You're missing out a ton.
So going back to the events and, you know, kind of what you were saying with all the people that you've worked with and the things that you've learned in the community that's there. If you don't take advantage of that when you're here on the West Coast, of the people that are here in this local community, if you don't, you are doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
You are freaking missing out, man. Like, because there's so much there to offer, and I can't talk about it enough, because every time I come, let's talking about the value extraction from today. For me, there was technical skill, there was hard skill, there was soft skill, and then there's also like a psychological and emotional component of managing kind of what's going on around you, and actually taking my own pulse or checking in with, like, is this shit real? Like, is that guy really that cool? Because like, I've seen him, I've heard about him, my friends have talked about him, they've gone to courses with this dude or whatever. Like, and I'll give you a perfect example. Here's an example. So Mark pulled me aside today. I was really struggling on one of the drills that one of the other instructors was actually putting us through. And I was going, for whatever reason, I was struggling. I couldn't get outside my own head about it. Yeah. He's like, hey, dude, you mind if I work with you for a minute? I'm like, fucking Mark Ackenbeck wants to work with you for a minute. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I want to work with you for more than a minute. Like let's go through this. Dude spent like 15 minutes with me, and as I'm standing there, what I'm recognizing is other instructors and the other people who are here are starting to gather around and circle around because they want to get that value.
Yeah,
right?
they're like, wait a minute, why does he only?
Next thing I know, he's got a whole audience there. We're all standing shoulder to shoulder, and there were some questions being asked and whatever else. And if you're from the outside looking in, you could see that I could see where you might see this as being a little weird if you don't understand, or if you have like there's a fear attached to it. But one of the other things about the event that you put on is, if you don't want to come out and shoot, don't come out and shoot. No, you don't have to come out and shoot. Like, it's going to be limited, by the way. So if you want to come out and shoot and you want to be part of this, like, when enrollment happens, you better fucking jump on it, because it's going to sell out fast. And I'm not just saying that, it will. It'll be.
It's last year we were going for 70 tickets.
Yep.
For 70 tickets at under $500, just close to $500, to be sold within 2 months for an event that no one has any idea what. Only thing that they can grasp is there's companies that they've heard of.
Yep.
And there's instructors that they've heard of.
Yep.
But as far as a reputation for the event, there was none.
Right.
And for 70 people to go, I'm going to put my trust into that this is going to happen, and for it to basically sell out within 2 months. That's
a great start, man. It's a really great start.
I don't see tickets lasting very long this year. I really don't. But which honestly it's kind of a cool thing. It makes me really happy that people are willing to put their trust in me and my team, because I really wish the other guys were here, because for me, like, it's the same reason how I feel about why I brought the other guys out doing all the courses talk earlier. I have a lot of guys coming out doing instruction, because am I instructor? Yeah. Am I pretty good at it? I would think I'm pretty knowledgeable. I have pretty good information to hand out. Am I the end all be all? Absolutely not.
Nobody should be thinking
Absolutely not. Yeah. And there's so many guys out there that can offer the same exact information that I'm giving, but deliver it in a different way. And that different way may be the difference from you understanding it or not. Yeah. And that's such a big thing for me. So I never rely on I'm the head honcho. My guys are everything for me, man. They've done so much to make these events successful. This event wouldn't have been successable without them.
I've said this a million times. Like, the most successful people in the world will tell you they didn't really get there on their own. Like, there had to been people behind them to support them and pick up when you may not have had the bandwidth, or set you back on track when you couldn't get out of your own head, or you had your head up your ass for that matter. It's like, or when you wanted to quit.
Sometimes it's just a feeling of, I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, totally.
Sometimes that just comes up. Everyone's human. I don't fucking feel like doing this.
Yeah. So that speaks to, what Jesse was saying about the community thing too. And there's like this accountability that exists.
Yep.
And I know, like, I felt that today with people, like when you come out, like, we're giving you 150% of everything that we have.
Yeah.
We hope you can get from that. And we really appreciate and respect that you're giving that back to us. You don't have to be the best shooter, as long as you're working hard, to kind of get there. Exactly. And I know that's kind of how this relationship got started too. So I want to hear about, Jesse, and your background, and like, how did this get started for you? Like, when did you get into this community as a whole? How did you get connected, with the dude?
Well, actually, taking it back really quickly to last night, when we were talking about, I remember driving over to dinner with you guys, and I thought to myself, like, well, why CRW? Why are we doing this? I want to hear it from Tony. Why? Because I respect Tony. Like, we've worked together for some time. And then last night when he started just like going off about why we're doing it, the value that we're trying to provide, I was like, fuck yes. This is why I'm in it, right? He has a great vision that aligns with my values. For me personally, I was a truck driver for 15 years. And as I was doing that, I was kind of in school and doing artwork and stuff like that. And I didn't really have anyone to help me do photography. Right. And Instagram was blowing up. Everyone was doing their thing. So I learned to do photography. I bought myself a camera, and then I had friends or family help me with that. And then it was like, well, video's blowing up. I need to learn that.
Move on to the next thing.
So then I moved on to the next thing. And just like Tony was saying last night, I'm very fucking obsessive. When I want to learn something,
you're all in.
Go deep. Man. Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse, right?
Exactly. So I learned all this stuff, and then I went to work for a company called LiveFit. Made a great friend of mine, manager now, Miguel. And when he left, I left. But while we were there, we were grinding, man. Like, we were in there from 8 a.m. till fucking 11 p.m. Like, we were going. And so when we both left, he got hired on by Affliction, and I guess he was killing it. So boss man was like, well, is there someone else? You got someone else, someone like you? And he's like, I know exactly who. So he contacted me. I went and did an interview like at 11 at night. 11 at night. I did an interview, and I met the owner and everything, a COO, and they brought me on. And shortly after that, the howitzer was already a thing. And so they're like, hey, we have this video. We needed to get it re-edited.
So you're talking about Howitzer Clothing, which is down here at Huntington Beach?
Steel Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, right next door. Yeah.
Shout out to Eric.
Yeah, big shout out to Eric. So Eric actually was the one that contacted me. And so he's like, hey man, I got this video. I need to get it re-edited. So I was like, cool. So that was
your
like
opportunity.
That was like my first like touch. I was like, oh, this is cool. It was it had to do with vets and giving back, because it is a give back brand. A lot of I think it was like 5% of whatever they make from any sale, they give back to military, law enforcement, and first responders. And I love that. I was like, that's cool, man. I can stand behind that. And then there was a photo shoot. They set me up with Mark. So Mark from First Defense, I went out there and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. I had just gotten my first gun like pretty recent. And I went out there, I did a photo shoot with him and Mike Beltran, the referee from UFC.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I met both those guys. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
That's a good day.
Yeah, that was a good day. So I was like, hey, Mark, you mind if I, pull my pistol out? And, he's like, yeah, absolutely. So I remember he had these like three, I think it was like 6 steel targets. And I started going after it, like, boom, boom, knocked down. I started missing and missing. He's like, hey, man, check this out. And he started giving me some tips. He's like, try this. And so I did. And right then I was like, I'm hooked.
This is immediate impact.
Immediate impact. I was like, you gave me value immediately. And I was like, I'm in. I'm in 100%.
That also just speaks to who Mark is as a person.
Exactly. Yeah. So at that point, I was like, hey, Mark, if you have classes and you need someone to film, I'm in. I got you. And then when I went to his classes, and this speaks volumes of Mark, when he does his classes, yes, he has a schedule, a curriculum, but he blows right past it. He will run from morning till night
to make sure people get it.
Make sure people get so much value. And what he's charging to compare to what he's providing, I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, you're providing so much value.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's what, and me and him had long conversations about it where that's just his mission. That's his passion. Like, he loves doing this and providing value for people. And I was like, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And then through that, shortly after, I think I came up here to do Donovan's class, and I met Tony, and slowly but surely, because Tony's kind of a dick. He's kind of a dick, but I was like, okay, this guy's kind of a dick, but he knows what he's doing, and I can respect that.
I'm a dick in a friendly way.
Oh, however you want to put it, bro. Sugarcoat it however you want.
This is also part of the community, by the way.
This is all part of the community. But then that's when I started to see him like interacting with other people and the community aspect of it. I was like, I can get behind this. Yeah. And I know me and Tony had conversations. I was like, dude, I really enjoy this community and what everyone is about. Shortly after that, I started getting really deep into it and just dedicating a lot of time. And that's when I started to meet, so it was Donovan, and I started to work with Fabio from My Own Defender. I worked with Rick, like all these great guys, and just pulling so much, using my trade, like kind of a bartering kind of thing, right? Where it was like, hey, I'll provide value for you if you provide value for me.
Right.
And so I just started going deep, man. I started going as hard as I can.
Yeah. So I see a lot of that because within the community is people are trying to find their way in so that they can stay in it somehow. Right. Like,
exactly.
So I see that in fitness too. Like, and actually in the fight community, I see this a lot. Like, they've given so much to the community over so long. They're finally trying to get back somehow.
Yeah.
And there's different ways you can do that. But at the end of the day, it starts with trying to help people.
Exactly.
Right? And really providing that value and understanding that you have to give before you receive, and that it often is way over giving and extending yourself sometimes, which again is a double-edged sword, which we talked about. But
the way I've seen it though, with that, exactly what you're saying though, is the way I look at it and the way I try and pursue, I live my life with it, is I give as much as I can. And if you want to give back to me, awesome.
It's without expectation though.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Just because if you want to be selfish, that's on you, but I'm not going to change who I am and try and help out whatever I can and whatever I can do to make you to help you out. So, it's like whatever I can try and do to help you out. Am I a dick to people? A little bit, but it's also in good fun. It's also in good fun. But for me, it's also, I try and also show that, hey, like, whatever you need, I'm here to help. And if you are, so one of my friends, you met him earlier today, Phil.
Yeah.
So Phil is a very, very, very close friend of mine. He has a mantra / saying, and I've kind of adopted it. Where do you need me? What do you need? And when do you need it? What, where, when? Pretty simple, because those are the only three questions. If you're truly friends with someone, those are the only three questions you really need to ask them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You shouldn't, because at that point, you should be able to trust someone. You should be able to trust, hey, if they're asking for your help, you're going to help them. Right. And that's kind of how I've really kind of lived I have a mentality on things. So it's like, hey, if Jesse comes to me, it's like, hey, dude, my car broke down. Where do you need me? When do you need me there? What do you need me to bring? Yeah. Plain and simple. Right. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. Am I gonna be a little annoyed it's 3 a.m? Yeah. Am I gonna get out of bed and tell my wife, hey, I gotta jump in the truck and go grab Jesse? 100%, no questions asked.
Yeah, but she's gonna know if you're doing that.
But she knows. But she also is very aware of who I am as a person,
how you operate,
and she's like, you do you get. And I'm very fortunate to have my wife to back me that way.
I think that's one of the things you find in these events too, is just the strong kind of family and community support. Absolutely. And if you didn't have it, you'll find it here in some way, in a sense. Like, I've found that There's a brotherhood that exists. A lot of it comes from backgrounds. And one of the things that was really important for me kind of in the podcast was getting together with guys like you and the guys like the people that we see out there on the range, because there's just this huge mixed bag, right? That are coming from all walks of life, which I think is really interesting. And I'm really drawn to it, that I can be on the range one day and there can be a couple moms there. There could be a couple of LEO people there. There could be a couple of ex-MILG people there, and civilians of any kind of walk of life, first timers, very experienced people, young, old, whatever, however you want to sort of qualify them or put them in whatever box you want to put them in. But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to do the same thing. It goes back to that goals and values alignment, and they're being introduced to this stuff, and you see these relationships being built along the way.
Well, because there's a baseline at the end of the day. There's a baseline everyone's at. Your baseline, your level is going to be maybe different than mine, but we all have the same baseline. Yeah. We want to do X, whether that's you're in a performance class and you're just trying to get faster and be right. But that fast, but your end goal is, I'm trying to be faster because I'm on the street. I need to make sure that I'm always being there. Right. Or
versus maybe a fundamentals
guy. Or that same performance stuff. Well, I'm doing USPSA shooting.
That's so totally different.
I need to be fast. It's different walk of life, but I'm also still trying to be fast because I need to make sure I get my hit. Right. So everyone has that baseline. And that's what really, at the end of the day, that's when you talk about that. You have an LEO guy, you have a military guy, you have the mom, but everyone has their baseline is all the same. From that baseline, everyone branches off to different what they're trying to focus on. Yeah. And that's what is so, because everyone can come back and say, that's amazing that you have the same baseline, the same mentality as me. Even though my walk of life is different, our mentalities line up at least at some point.
Right.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
Yeah, so I think this is a good time to kind of talk about the event in and of itself, and particularly what's coming up, because it's going to be different than it was last year. It is going to be. And when I say different, it's going to be bigger and better, right? Fundamentally, it's the same. You're doing it. You've spoken about the reasons sort of that we're doing it and why it's bringing the community together, exposing people to what's out there, exposing people to all the great things that it has to provide. So you're going to have vendors there, there's going to be instructors there, there's going to be participants there, there's going to be kind of just onlookers, or we'll just call it like spectators there. So there's people are welcome to come. I want to talk about like what people should expect from this year's CRW.
So it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's vastly different than last year, but it's different enough to talk about for sure.
Yeah. So maybe the way you organize this, or we organize this, is like, what was really great about last year, and maybe what were some of the things that you learned that you recognize can be different this year?
So what I realized was great from last year is the community building. I met a lot of really cool people that I talk to still at least once a week now. I met them last year and I talk to them once a week still. It's the community's been built from it, right? So that was probably one of the best things that came out of it. Is there's been a strong community build. A lot of it is a little bit more. God, these guys are crazy.
The boys are rolling.
The boys are rolling out doing their thing. They're itching.
They're getting Nancy.
They're running around.
The nods are getting fired up. Like the batteries are being changed out in the weapon mounted lights.
They want to go for it, but that was probably the biggest thing about it. Is we built such a phenomenal community, and last year's focus really was California. I brought in almost everyone I brought in was California based.
Exclusive, right?
Exclusive Californian vendors, California instructors, California attendees.
So smart.
Because I really wanted to be like, hey, we need to be able to show that we have something here. Because so many people think that California is this blue state that hates guns and are there a lot of that out there? Yeah, there is. It really sucks, but we have such a huge gun community. We have a 2A supportive community.
I don't think people get it. I really don't. And people here in California don't even get it. I mean,
until they're in here,
until like what Jesse said, until they actually experience and they kind of see what's involved there.
Yeah. Well, that's my goal. Right, in terms of a photographer and videographer, is to try my my mission is to try to get
the
that
message
across
out
to people, right? Visually get that across to people. I don't want them to just read it. I have them see it viscerally and get it.
Yeah.
So, and those were all the good things, right? Some of the bad things that were out of it. And it's not nothing, I wouldn't say it was bad.
Just to say areas for improvement. Yeah.
Areas of improvement. One of the biggest things of improvement, we did all of our training on one day.
It was a long day, brother.
It was
dude, I was
14-hour
trashed. But thank God I had somebody that drove me up here. Dude, I didn't even make it. I made it maybe 30 seconds out the gate. I was passed out in the front seat of that car by the time we were home.
I mean, we had everyone showing up about 7 o'clock in the morning.
It was a long day.
Everyone basically left at about 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah, I was gone later than that. The triple feed guys kept guys late, man. So
but it was
the class you took?
No, so my ride was in the triple feed.
I had to shut Jerry and those guys down, and I walked over to Mark. Mark, like you were saying, if you let Mark go, he'll keep running.
Well, he spent 20. He took 20 minutes out of his life to give to me today, right, and everybody else for that matter. I wanted to hit on that. When he did that, the person who was teaching, did they get upset? Oh, hell no. No, they were there asking questions and listening. Yeah.
Why? Because there was little tweaks of information that they could take away for themselves.
Yeah, nuance.
And that's what I love about the community. Everyone's like, oh shit, he has this little thing that may work for someone else. Exactly. Let me see what I can do.
It's not we've done this way for this long, so this is the way we're going to teach us. We're going to do
the
it.
information gets disseminated to everyone.
That's such an old mentality that's going away, and
it's broken.
I love that it's no longer becoming a thing. That mentality, when people do, well, this is how we do it. So it's like that mentality is basically being pushed out because it's a terrible mentality.
I agree 100%.
So, but going back to what we were talking about is we had a long day, right? I had to basically tell Mark, hey, dude, wrap it up. Guess what? Yeah. You guys all got here at 7. Mark, you got here at 3 o'clock. Bro, I got here last night.
Yeah.
I spent the night. I was up at 5 a.m. to get everything squared away for the next day and get all my range guys and everything squared away. It was an exhausting long day.
It was long.
Yeah.
And the next day, half the people fell off because everyone was just beat. And I get it. I'm like, you know what? We got to change.
So what are we doing different this year?
So this year, what we're going to do is we're going to start off a little bit later in the day. We're going to start off probably closer between 10 and 11.
It's more of a civil hour.
A little civil hour, yeah.
Right.
A lot better than
Jesse
7.
and I can go get a drink or two.
You guys can have a little drink before, be able to sleep in, enjoy and kiss the wife goodbye and say, hey, have fun. I'm gonna have fun what you're doing. I'm doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
My wife will be up here.
My better half will be here too.
She's a trooper.
She wouldn't miss it,
dude. I gotta love having those, But it's one of those where we're gonna start later. So, and then we're going straight into basically what I'm calling vendor appreciation and challenge day. So it's all about showing the love to the vendors for taking time out of their day, for spending company money to coming out to our event, being here, showing product, trying to build help build the community, try and build networking opportunities, all those things. That's what I'm really that's what we want to focus on. I want to get that. I mean, right out of the gate, trying to hit that hard.
Those guys are already chomping at the bit. Some of them were even here today.
Yeah,
and we had the guys from Chosen here today.
Hector was out here doing his thing.
Right.
We had, Jerry, obviously he's instructor, but he's also has triple feed. They're putting up a booth.
Had Howitzer had representation from Justin David. Howitzer will be here.
They're doing their stuff. Do we have any other vendors out here?
Today?
I know he invited Chuck was supposed to come out from All Skill No Luck, but he lives in San Diego and he had a good time down in at the FPC stuff. So unfortunately he couldn't make it up.
I mean, but there were so many people. There were people here last year that were doing such a great job, just kind of interacting with people, exposing
and that's
people to their stuff and supporting one another.
And I want to be able to make sure they get the support and the recognition they deserve.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. So I want to make sure they get that.
And along the way, like it's a little bit more casual, right? So you don't have to feel like you're on like this time clock of I have to be here or I'll go check out that vendor when I'm done with my class. But the reality of it is like, man, I got to go get some water. I got to go jam mags, whatever the case is, and come back where you maybe not get that time. Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I wished I had more time to spend with the vendors last year and kind of get around. I showed up as they were setting up. up, and because I got here really early, same time they did, we were kind of chomping at the bit to be here and make sure we had the lay of the land. And I'll be honest, like I felt like it was bugging them a little bit. They're trying to get all their shit laid out and their merchandise and stuff.
I can promise you they loved the people like you who are coming out and doing that. I got nothing but compliments and love from every single one of them. Every single one. Thank you so much for having us out. And to me, I'm like, why are you thanking me? Like, you guys are the reason why this is a success.
That's why it happens. Yeah.
You guys made me look like a winner. It wasn't me.
So if you're not shooting, right? If you're not part or a participant in the events, like with regard to the instruction that will be happening, can you come to CRW and see the vendors and maybe do some challenges? How does that work?
So what we're gonna do, we're doing a little bit different this year. So I've had multiple people hit me up last year. Hey, my girlfriend, my wife, or me, we just want to come out and check it out. We don't really want to be part of the shooting. Are you guys doing like spectator tickets? And I'm like, no, not this year. We're not doing that this year. This was last year.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I'm like, all right, I think, you know what? I think it'd be a good idea to have the spectator option.
Love it.
So people who want to just show up, be part of the community, be part of meeting the vendors,
or support their participant.
Support the
like
people
going
that who are there. You know, be their cheerleader, all that stuff. You'll buy a ticket. It's going to be basically range fee is really what it is. It's just because we're paying the range. It's going to be basically a range fee for that,
which supports the event.
It supports the event. It supports the range, which was generous to base. They give us 7 bays this year.
It's
7.
I don't know if people really understand how big that is. Like, there's not a lot of places you can go and have that many bays.
To have 7 bays taken up from there is massive. That's I think at least half of what they have here. I think there's like 14 bays because 2 of them got taken out when they're doing some construction. They have like 14 bays up here. And and I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those bays are pistol and shotgun only.
Wow.
So we took up. I mean, they have 4 bays left that they can use rifle. The rest we have.
Yeah,
we took them.
You've got all. You've got everything.
So it's a big deal for them to be able to give us that time, that Saturday and Sunday. And so we really want to make sure that they're taken care of as well, obviously. Yeah. So we're gonna give the spectator tickets available for people, and with the spectator ticket, it'll give you the opportunity to check out all the vendors. If you want to get in and find a way to get into the industry, it gives you an opportunity to meet a lot of different vendors who may be hiring, maybe know someone who's hiring.
Yeah, basically networking.
Yeah, find a way to network, get in, be part of the community.
Like what you guys have done. And how you got in. So if you're an aspiring photographer or somebody like that, or you got some gear, you got some product.
You have gear. You've been shooting a lot. You want to start teaching people because you enjoy it. Maybe there's another school that you can be a part of, or a team that they have in-house teaching. There's a lot of different options.
The West Coast California people are going to be here.
Oh, yeah,
this is your opportunity to, like, this isn't a DM. This is a fucking handshake and eye-to-eye contact and a real conversation. Let's go. Let's hang out.
And what's going to be a lot of fun about this, even though they're spectator tickets, I'm kind of interested to see how people feel about it, because what I'm going to also allow happen is if you pay for a spectator ticket, you're allowed to take part in the challenges.
I love it.
Ooh. And they're going to take part of the challenges. So, but that builds the drive for, I got to be better.
Also gives them that experience. Like, you may think something, but you don't know until you do it.
You have a guy who goes, I don't really shoot too much, right? But I think I'm a good shooter. And then you come out and you shoot, and maybe you don't do as well, because the guys who are out here paid for the ticket and who are training all the time, you may get smoked. I've gotten smoked. It's okay. It happens. But
I expect to get smoked.
But you realize it does 2 things for you. 1, you go, if I really want to be part of this community, I got to step my game up.
Yep.
2, those guys know what they're fucking doing.
Right.
I gotta be hanging out with them, or I gotta be part of whatever training they're in, so I can be at that level. Yeah. So it helps to build that community. It gives opportunity for people. And at the same time, it could also be for the person who's like, hey, you know what? I can't really afford to spend the money on this, but I want to be able to support.
Or if you don't get, for whatever reason you don't get a ticket, if you're not on your shit, and you don't enroll soon enough.
Shit, man. For all we know, as soon as we drop tickets, 10 minutes later it can be sold out. For all we know, who knows?
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I want to be part of that vendor group. I want to be out here. I want to be meeting people.
Yeah.
I want to be talking to people. I want to be finding out what we can do to support the community and support that being the participants, the spectators, and the other vendors that are here. So, I mean, I'm stoked about that. The other part about that is what you were talking about, Jesse, and that is kind of capturing the things. I mean, talk about how you're going to be working through this event, like maybe how you did last year.
Well, we're still kind of talking about that.
Good. So it's evolving.
It's evolving.
We're trying to make it as best as possible.
Yeah, we're trying to get, and as, this CRW and then next CRW, the team will continue to evolve, especially the media team. But we're going to try to provide as much value as we can, especially when it comes to the photography aspect of it, where people want to get their images. That still talks about how we're going to go about doing that. But I'm really trying to showcase the experience, right? I'm really trying to showcase that. So me personally, I'm going to be spread a little bit thin because I'm going to try to hit every instructor. But I know there's going to be other guys. I think Eli's going to come out.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably Chris will be down here.
Chris will be out.
We're going to try and get
concealed cameraman. We're trying
to get a solid group of people out here, putting some video out there and content. And
but we're gonna try to pull people and have conversations with them individually and as much as we can. I mean, we're gonna try to do the best we can, but it continues to evolve.
But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a community event.
Exactly.
This event will never be successful without everyone showing up. So the people are, to me, are the most important thing, right? We want to make sure the people are taken care of. We want to make sure the vendors are taken care of. We want to make sure the instructors are taken care of. That's what's important to me. I want to make sure that because those guys are taken care of, I'm successful. I'm not worried about the how much money I make. I'm worried about my success. I base my success, Jesse's success, my team's success on, did everyone who was here go, I cannot wait for the next year, and everyone who didn't go, I should have been there. Why didn't I sign up?
I got to tell you, like today, and that's the time that we spent together and the people that were here, I think you've been very successful there, and it will only grow from that, where people will be like, when's it going to happen, and how do I sign up for this? Yeah. There's going to be this thing, as you just said, is going to evolve. Yes. And I love, Jesse, that you're already thinking next year and the year after that, right? Because
absolutely,
the sky's the limit, right? You're going to keep going with this thing.
I can see it. I can already see it going beyond this. Like there's not a shadow of doubt in my head that it's going to go beyond this, because even the variety of classes that we're offering, I've never seen that anywhere. Right? You got Fabio doing USPSA classes.
Let's talk about all this. Yes.
Yeah, we got Nate coming back with his entry class. Yep. We got who do we got else? We got Gabe coming back doing a vehicle course.
Yeah, so we have Lucas has come out, and so we have 10 instructors. Yep. So our 10 instructors that we have Kawa is going to be teaching 2 different classes, 2 Alpha to Quit.
Who's that? Oh, yeah, 2 Alpha.
Yeah, 2 Alpha. He's coming out and he's teaching 2 classes. Phenomenal instructor. We have Triple Feed guys, Renee, Lioness Tactics.
So hold on, wait. Triple Feed's doing low light, right?
Well, so I want to.
Okay, you're gonna go out. Okay.
Yeah, so I want to
I want to make sure you tell people what they're what they're gonna get.
They're all getting,
because this shit's crazy.
It's
to the table. My mind's blown. Actually,
it's wild the range that we have. We have of Lucas Aguilar, Hatchet. He's coming out here.
Mentioned Kawa.
We have Kawa. We have Lioness. We have Mark Ackenbeck, First Defense, Fabio, Triple Feed guys, CRG, Crisis Response Group, Ryan and those guys. We have failed state research. They're coming out, putting on a class. I know.
The list goes on.
We have 10 people total, and it's. I feel so bad for not remembering every single person. So
let's touch on each individual instructor.
So individual instructor, what we're doing. So Kawa. So we'll start with Kawa because he's top of my head right now. He's teaching 2 classes. He's going to be teaching a night vision course. He's going to be our night vision instructor. So anyone looking to do night vision work, he's going to be your guy. Second, he's also going to be teaching a CQB course.
You guys have a shoot house.
We have a shoot house up here.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that before.
Not yet. We have a shoot house up here. He is going to be teaching it for safety reasons. He is going to be teaching because it's a 1 day. A lot of shoot house stuff is usually a 2 day stuff. So for safety reasons, we are going to be doing airsoft, but
That makes for perfect fucking sense. And to anybody out there that might be turning their nose up at that, like on a 1 day, full day event, like stop it.
yeah, because honestly, like the knowledge you're going to gain out of that is phenomenal. And
we already know, like the whole airsoft thing with the force on force stuff is phenomenal.
You can't.
Right?
Oh,
you don't need to be
beat.
shooting live rounds.
Yeah, hey, you get to save some ammo with the ammo prices. You get to save some ammo. I think you'll be okay.
So get your airsoft setups.
Yeah, well, and we're also going to get some. I think we're working on. I don't want to name names yet, but we're working on some companies to help supply.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Stuff.
Yeah,
we're working on some quality guys to supply some quality gear for these classes. So. It's not going to be janky rinky-dink stuff.
So even if you don't have an airsoft setup or whatever, what about the night vision shit?
So the night vision thing, I am working with a guy, AC. I have to look him up. I can look him up in a second. Sheriff is his name. He's going to be actually helping supply night vision people to rent.
Ooh.
So we're gonna actually have people to be able to rent night vision.
Dude, don't sleep on that.
No.
If you haven't had an opportunity.
If you don't own your own night vision, that doesn't mean you can't be part of it. You can go ahead and rent. And we tried to do it last year. It unfortunately didn't work out. The people who were listening who were peered, like, we tried that last year, didn't work. This year, it's gonna work, and it's part of an actual class this year. So you'll be able to actually rent the stuff and take a course. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be legit.
That's tough to do, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So Cal was doing that. Then we have Lucas, who's going to be teaching a vehicle CQB course.
So we're going to have some vehicles up there.
And I've been a part of his vehicle courses. They're fucking amazing.
Legit. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
He has a lot of quality knowledge.
I trained with Lucas and Mason last year.
Okay.
Yeah, for the low light stuff, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah. So he's coming up here doing his thing. Triple Feed's teaching 2 classes as well. They're teaching a white light handgun course, focused a lot on the handheld stuff because a lot of people understand. You've taken his class.
I've taken several actually.
So you know
several from him. Yeah.
How underappreciated a handheld weapon light is.
Yep.
And by the way, they've got the 3 guys that are going to be here for that. They're phenomenal dudes. B-Dub, Luis, and
I've done low light stuff with him over at LAX, and he's amazing. The stuff that he provides is amazing.
It's large. They spend a lot of time talking about the handheld lights. They go beyond the weapon lights. If you're thinking just weapon lights, oh, that's cool. I got a weapon mounted light on my pistol or my rifle.
No,
these guys are gonna blow your mind. They're gonna make you think different.
The second class he's offering.
The second class.
This is dope.
Amazing.
We got a little taste today.
We got a little taste.
Everyone. This is basically gonna be a little Iron Sight exclusive.
Yeah.
They're teaching a class that's called a broken carbine, triple feed broken carbine. It's nothing sexy, as he talked about it. It's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be the most fun thing to be able to see on Instagram. But it's
so practical.
It's the most practical,
so practical,
and the most I think fun class that we're probably going to have.
And by the way,
if I can put it in Eric from Howitzer's words, it's probably going to be a fucking nightmare.
Oh,
it's going to be a nightmare.
But it's going to be the funnest nightmare you've ever had because those triple feed guys are amazing, dudes.
Like you said, it's very practical, right? Dealing with malfunctions and being able to work through them.
And it's not just a malfunction of, I expected a bang and went click. I expected a bang and went click. I looked at my rifle and then I see 3 different casings in my rifle.
He even touched on shooting with one arm.
Yep.
Right. With the carbine. There's
left and right arm. So you're dealing with multiple stuff here. How to do so many different pieces. So there's gonna be so much. It's gonna be chaos.
It's be dense. Very dense.
It's stuff that everyone needs to know how to do. Everyone is going to love to do. So that's gonna be a crazy fun class.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Super excited for that one.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a really cool class. And then like just said, we have Fabio. He's going to be doing like a USPSA type of shooting.
So Fabio, if I can
do it.
I've worked a lot with Fabio since probably December. It's almost been every week since December that I've worked with him.
Constantly teaching classes.
He's constantly teaching.
He's booked all the time.
So his USPSA classes, I have to say, are one of the best classes I've ever taken in terms of shooting competition.
That's a
he's
big
done it with Raven Wing, which big shout out to those guys.
Yep.
They're great
I trained with
guys.
them last year as well.
Mo,
So,
Alex.
so their
Guys.
USPSA class
Jared.
is amazing. If you haven't taken a class, their USPSA class, you should fucking jump on it. And so this year, that's what he's doing.
It's
Right.
USPSA based.
It's a USPSA class because he does it for his cohorts, and so now he's bringing it to CRW, and I think it's fantastic. And if you take that class, you're gonna get so
gonna be
much
hooked.
out of it.
Yeah, you're probably
gonna
gonna be
get
hooked.
moving and shooting and doing doubles and transitions and accelerators. A lot of great shit coming from that
and then-
class.
So
Yeah.
bring plenty of ammo.
Oh, bring plenty of ammo.
And then so you have Nate. Last year he did a door entry class.
The breaching class.
Breaching class,
where
which is
he's
great.
going to be doing that again.
Yeah, if you caught any of that video, man,
Oh,
like
yeah.
people,
Last year,
a lot of
that
people
was
were like,
the
"Wait,
class.
what the fuck was that about?"
Last,
Like,
last
it was
year that
great.
was the class to be a part of.
yeah, it was
which
neat.
was really cool. So
I wasn't in it, but I saw all the video and
Yeah.
all the stuff. I was like, damn,
Yeah,
that
so
looked like those guys were having fun.
He's doing that one. Gabe Rivera from Mindset Tactical. He's gonna be doing it's basically he's calling it a CQB marksmanship. So everyone wants to be super accurate and stuff like that, but and every time someone gets up and close and personal, you're like, gross sight picture, just point and shoot. But when what he does, his profession, if you know him, you know him. I'm not going to speak any more on that one, but if you know him, you know him.
Look him up.
Look him up.
Look him up. Yeah.
In his profession, gross sight picture isn't always what he needs to be. He needs to be on point with his shooting. And when you're running with a rifle, you have your offset. If you don't understand what the mechanical offset is, look it up.
There's no
before
room
you
for
show up.
error. There's no room for error.
You got to understand.
Yeah.
It. You got to understand it. So he's going to really get that. He's really going to get that in, and he's going to really focus on the marksmanship aspect at a close distance with the rifle. And from there, it's going to lead into some basic CQB stuff. So he's going to kind of have a little overlap with Cowl, but I like that. I told him I love that he's having that small overlap because it gives people a little bit more of a taste, a little bit of an opportunity for these kind of things. Because Kawa, his focus isn't going to be making sure everything is this tight of a group right on the the T zone, what you would say, right? His focus is going to be more like, hey, we got to work on footwork, we got to work on this. So you have two pieces of the same puzzle coming together, which is really cool. And then you have Renee from Linus Tactics. She's going to be teaching kind of a defensive handgun stuff.
Yep.
Focused a little bit more towards the female aspect because I really want to drive.
Yes.
We need it so much.
This is
more.
so important. This is not just for dudes.
No, hell no.
So I got to tell you. So I was in the Raven class the Raven Wing class last year, and there was a female officer, I think Riverside County Sheriff's, that came out, and she fucking crushed the challenge.
Oh, I know who it is. I forget her name.
And by the way, she showed up with a handgun. She was a brand new staccato. She was like, we kind of, everybody starts off. They start off with like, hey, where are you from? Like, who are you? What's your background? Whatever.
Liz was.
She shows up. She goes, hey, this is what I do. I got this brand new platform. I haven't trained with it much. I feel very strongly that you need to be, you need to train with how you're going to fight. So I'm out here today to both learn from these guys, but also learn this new platform. By the end of the day, she was crushing it.
Oh yeah.
And she made me feel like so small. But at the same time, I was so respectful of that. So the whole point of this is you're bringing in Renee from Lioness. She was there today, and wow, what a presence! That she has.
She demands.
She does not fuck around.
No, and she's a great shooter. She's
mom
a lot of great
of
knowledge.
2 or 3, right?
Twin. She has twin girls, and then she has I think all 3 are girls.
So Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu,
black belt.
Black belt, yeah,
black belt.
I mean, she doesn't fuck around.
No.
So the point of this is like this is different than last year in that while I had again this one female officer in the one class, like, this is a whole segment of our population that is growing very, very, very fast. And she's catering specifically to that in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it's not just for females.
Because
this is close contact.
She can
this
handle
is
her
defensive
own
handgun stuff.
Any guy out there, she can handle her own. And she can still teach any guy. And if a guy only responds to being yelled at, she can yell at you.
Yeah.
She's a badass.
She's got it figured out.
Yeah. So she can run. She can run again with the best of us, man.
She did a self-defense class that I filmed not that long ago, and I thought it was very interesting because there were women in that class that are like, "Hey, can we speak up
They're asking permission.
They were asking.
She was
her
probably offended by that.
No, she wasn't offended by it, but it was interesting to me that she was like, you have permission. If it is that you're looking for permission, you have permission to speak for yourself, to defend yourself, to say no, stop, get away. And so for her to be getting that message across, to be giving women that power that feel that maybe don't have that power or maybe a little bit intimidated. I thought that was great. So I thought that was fantastic.
What I took away from that was, so if you're a female and you're interested in working with a female instructor, this is a prime opportunity to do that while being exposed to a lot of other things. I'm also going to say this: if you're an instructor, right, and you want to be better, specifically if you're a male instructor and you want to be better at working with female participants in your classes or whatnot, this is the class you're going to want to come to and take at CRW, because she's going to give you so much stuff that you can take back and have an immediate impact on the things that you're doing in terms of the impact on your community.
Exactly.
So this is going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. And then finally, I definitely don't want to leave him out because he's a friend of mine. Ryan from Crisis Response Group.
Right.
He's teaching attack med.
The attack med stuff. This might be the one that I sign up for first.
But I mean, it's like we have such a massive array. Tac med. I mean, guys doing tac med stuff. You know, being
what about failed state?
Yes, and failed state as well. Yes. They're gonna be doing kind of a rifle pistol work, just kind of understanding transitions and using a lot of that stuff. So we have an array of like, hey, if you want to you need to work on transition work and you're just trying to get really good at being able to do that. You had failed state, right? Yep. Hey, you know what? You understand that kind of piece and you want to get some medical portion. Ryan CRG can do that.
Yep.
Hey, you want to go ahead and start working some vehicle work? Lucas has
go see Lucas.
Hey, you want to go ahead and work on CQB? We have Kawa or Gabe in different fashions, but two different pieces of the same puzzle.
Then you got low light.
You have your low light guys who are doing stuff. You have Mark's sitting here doing his low light concealed pistol work. You also have, he's focusing on the concealed side of things because that's where majority of people are caring.
Most people
are doing concealed work.
Oh my God, there's gonna be so much FOMO.
We have
so much FOMO
because
there's so
many different guys doing a different piece. And what I'm most excited about is on Sunday, everyone comes up and everyone walks up on Sunday and goes, hey, how was your class? Dude, my class was awesome.
It was dope.
I did blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And then the guy who asked you goes, oh yeah, well we
listen to this.
And he goes, and then someone else is like, that's nothing. You don't hear what we did. Right. And everyone's trying to one up each other because they think their class is the best. And everyone at the same time, everyone class was the best. But it's like everyone has this information to trade. And then one guy goes, damn, you guys did that? All right, screw it. I gotta go take.
We gotta go catch that other class.
Catch that other class. I need to get this guy. Like he's and so everyone. Yeah. So now everyone's classes are they're expanding, they're growing, they're making more names, they're building more stuff. And it's like, and even if you've trained with, it's like, wait, you did that with Mark? Dude, I've never done that with Mark. All I've ever done was rifle stuff.
Right. So they're going to be seeing new stuff.
Too? Yeah. What the heck? Why can't I do a rifle? I need to do a night class with them. So it's like, it's all of these different pieces where you have so much going on. It's going to be wild.
I said it a little bit at the beginning with regard to what I witnessed today and what I witnessed the last time I was here. Yeah. And that is this concentration of talent, right? And wisdom and knowledge, and just depth that is going to get, people are going to get exposed to. I cannot wait for this thing. There is so much cool shit that we've already talked about. And again, I mean, of course I'm going to be excited about it because I'm part of it now. Yeah. Like I feel like going back to the FOMO piece, like I can't miss this thing, and I would never an act of God would be the only thing.
People are gonna have such a hard time deciding.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. They're gonna look at the curriculum and go, "Fuck, where do I even start with this?"
Yeah.
But here's the great part about it. So let's say you sign up for a section that you don't get into. The alternative section is going to be just as good, right? Like anything you
take,
take,
single class you take
you're not going to be
missing out.
disappointed.
You're not missing out on anything, and you're not going to be disappointed with.
The only FOMO you're going to have is if you didn't come to this event, you didn't do it.
That's going to be the worst.
That's going to be the worst FOMO you're ever going to have. So that said, so what can we expect here, guys, with regard to like when people can sign up for it? Like when's enrollment going to be ready, and what are the extra things that they may need to know or prepare themselves for between now and the event?
We'll give you another Ironside exclusive.
I love this. I love exclusives.
You're getting all the good stuff.
It's been a great day.
So no one else knows. No one else. I don't even know how the most of my team knows. Let me be honest.
All right.
So these guys probably may find out right now as well. So what I want to do, I want to open up tickets weekend of 4th of July. America Day, baby.
Oh, fuck. That's awesome.
Talking America Day.
Okay.
So 4th of July weekend. I'm not going to say what day yet. Just keep your eyes open. 4th of July weekend. We'll post it. We'll give everyone a heads up. But it's gonna be a single post the day of. Tickets are live.
Got you.
Tickets are live. Pay attention.
You heard it.
Turn on your notifications. It's gonna be the weekend. Or if you're if you want to just not turn on notifications and wing it and just jump on every couple days or whatever during that weekend, do your thing, man.
My calendar invite is on right now for everybody that's that I can get to.
But it's one of those things, man. We're honestly, it's going to happen that weekend. It's going to be, and I expect the website to just absolutely blow up. That
cool. You're going to wreck the internet, is what you're saying.
I love it. I hope. I hope, man.
All right.
But it's going to be a good time. So for anyone wondering, I got past a little list here. So guys who are following, Lioness Tactics for Renee, My Own Defender for Fabio, CRG Crisis Response Group. These are all their guys on Instagram. Lucas is no longer Instagram, but that's okay. We have Triple Feed guys. Nate, TSI Core, Mindset Tactical, Failed State Research, 2 Alpha to Quit, and First Defender. Those are our guys that we're putting out. It's gonna be a legit time.
So what's the handle for California Range Weekend?
Exactly that. California Range Weekend.
Okay. So
California _range_ weekend.
Okay. California _range_ weekend. You'll find it in the show notes here. There'll be a link there to do that. Follow that. Make sure you got your notifications turned on. Watch out for that. We're going to have some really cool YouTube content and on Instagram content. All of these instructors are going to get stuff that you'll be able to get a little sneak peek into what you guys talked about tonight. Over the next couple of months, we'll get that up, and in case you're wondering or a little curious about it, if they have questions or want to kind of reach out to anybody, who should they and where should they reach out to?
So you can reach out directly onto the California Range Weekend. Me and my team, we all monitor it fairly closely, so we're always on top of that. If you need to reach me directly, you can go directly to my website. There's a contact page on there, or you can go to my Instagram, which is
a little dust storm, or is that cigar smoke?
Dust storm. Probably my dog going for a run.
Show you wrestling Rue out there. Yeah.
Or so you can do that. Or my personal page. I'm gonna do a little shameless plug just because we haven't talked about it at all.
Do it.
But Axiom Training Group, Axiom Training on Instagram. You can find me there. You can go ahead and reach out to me on there as well.
Great.
That's another option you can look for. So just either any one of those, you reach out to us, we will answer you. If it takes us a day or so, we apologize. We do get a lot of messages on there, believe it or not. Very fortunate, very humbled that people are excited as they are and reach out as much as they do. And if you're a vendor, if you want to come out, you want to be a part of us, we'd love to have you out. You reach out, we'll send you the packet on what it takes to be the vendor. It's not hard. We're not making it super difficult for anyone. We want to make sure that you have, as long as your values align with what this community event is about, we'd love to have you guys out there, because that's the biggest thing. Is we want to make sure everyone has an inclusive feel. Everyone has the mindset of, hey, we're here to support each other and build everyone up. We don't want any famine mentality. We want that abundance mentality. Everyone has a place to grow. Period. That's the mentality we want everyone to have.
I love it. In the meantime, we got Figment Shoots. Jesse, anything you want to close up with, dude?
Oh man, it's gonna be a great event. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I love these guys. You know, they've done a lot of great stuff for the community. You know, and I've got to meet a lot of great instructors that are gonna be part of the event. So don't miss out. Be a part of it. Come out, have some fun, meet some people, and just be a part of the community, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple for me.
Yeah.
Grow together, contribute together.
Yeah.
Man.
I appreciate you guys. I'm looking
for
forward
having
to
us.
it.
Yeah.
It's been a fantastic day, and it seems like we got a couple more hours out here. As it's twilight right now, we're gonna bring the rifles and the pistols back out.
Oh, low light time.
How about we grub first?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's eat some steaks.
Dude, I got some Waggies, man.
Oh God,
Oh.
appreciate. Well, on that note,
Some more bourbon?
we're gonna close this up. But promise me, we're gonna do this again.
You're
Yes.
always welcome.
Promise me.
100%.
You are always welcome.
All right. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys. Salud.